information that led you to Philadelphia. Can I just say? So, back in the old days when you applied for a job, you had to fill out an application and you had to list your old jobs that you had, and then you had to give your reason for leaving. But they only gave you a little box. It's never that simple. My first job I left because I ran off to Colorado with a three-fingered cellist. His name was Sebastian. I met him when I was 15. He went to my high school and he was kind of a badass. Like, he was always on the brink of getting into trouble, like just stupid stuff like, you know, smoking or not having a hall pass or... Once we went to a band concert and he threw a carton of chocolate milk into the tuba. Which still makes me laugh. So, like, he was my first boyfriend. He was my first date. Yeah, I mean, you guys, you know where we went on our first date? Really, I kid you not, the malt shop, really, people used to do that. He bought me an ice cream sundae, and then he ate the cherry, like I'm like, what? No, oh no. I made him buy me a whole new sundae. Like, he was not just gonna take, no, you know, no. But anyway, he was kind of a thank you. He was kind of a misfit in the neighborhood for a couple reasons. One was he'd blown off his pinky finger playing with fireworks, and that's like not funny. You're evil people at this. And because he was from a broken home. His father was a jazz musician who, like, just kind of abandoned the family, abandoned his wife and kids. And that didn't happen in my neighborhood. You know, it was a little bourgeois neighborhood, and we didn't have jazz musicians. Like the fathers in our neighborhood, they either worked for the steel mills or they worked in offices, and like they mowed the lawns on Saturday. So he was kind of a misfit, but I was kind of a misfit because, like, I read a lot of books and I wasn't a member of the B'nai B'rith girls, you know, like so. So we started hanging out, and he played the cello. Yeah. Oh. Oh, yeah. I mean, like every stroke of the bow. Buttered love. I mean, I was 15. I hadn't felt this way since the Beatles were on Ed Sullivan. You know what I'm saying? Oh. So my mother was starting to get worried about me. And so she gave me a book, Ann Landers Talks to Teens. I think Mary Webster's story was in that book. I mean, it was hundreds of pages of just these heart-wrenching tales of women, girls who had ruined their life by letting boys go too far. Pregnancy and regret and shame, and no decent man would ever marry them because they were spoiled. I mean, that might sound funny to you guys now, but that was real then, right? I mean, it was the dawning of the age of Aquarius, but it hadn't quite dawned yet. So I was really struggling with what to do because I believed in love and I believed in freedom and I believed in mystic crystal revelations and to liberation. Yeah, but on the other hand, I mean, he played the cello. stories weren't gonna pertain to us because we were gonna love each other forever. I knew that because I'd seen it in writing in my journal. Marjorie plus Sebastian forever. Well, forever lasted until the spring of sophomore year. And what had happened was he walked into geometry class and he called the teacher a fascist and he stormed out, and then he got kicked out of school. And next time I heard from him, I got a letter from him from juvie, but I never really saw him. I kind of lost track and my heart was broken. But you know, life goes on. I kind of found a troubled bassoon player, and but it wasn't the same. So let me wrap this up, because I didn't see him. 8 years later, I had my first job, and it was a good job. I wrote film strips. Do you remember those? Like I wrote like educational, like using decimals. Perhaps you've seen my work. Like all the characters in my word problems had like these elaborate backstories. Like you knew why Alice left Chicago on a train going 55 miles per hour. She was running from the law. Anyway, my phone rang and he showed up, and I hadn't seen him for 8 years, and he moved in, basically, because he'd been living in a van, and turned out he found his father, and his father was in Colorado, and as soon as he got the money together, he was going to go to Colorado. So I got him a job laying down soundtracks for these educational film strips, and as soon as he had $200, we left. And we went to Colorado. Things didn't work out. His father was addicted to coke, and then he started doing coke, and I was like, well, that's okay, because like, if I get addicted to coke, I'll get really skinny. But it didn't work out. I just started eating really fast. Anyway, I didn't like it. I didn't like the scene, so I came home and I had to get a new job, and I was filling out the application, and under reason for leaving your previous job, I just wrote Bach. Thank you.